Archangel Michael speaks not to alarm you, but to steady you. When words like emergency reach the heart, the soul often tightens, yet this message arrives to loosen that grip. There are moments when truth approaches quietly, asking for presence rather than panic. This is one of those moments. Nothing here is meant to frighten you. Everything here is meant to prepare you with peace. There has been a weight around your home that you could not fully name. You felt it in the pauses between conversations, in the silence after laughter, in the way certain memories returned without invitation. This was not coincidence. It was awareness knocking gently, asking you to notice what your heart already sensed but did not rush to define. Awareness does not break us, it steadies us. The heartbreak mentioned is not a sudden strike. It is the recognition of something that has been unfolding for a while. When clarity comes, it can feel heavy at first, because clarity removes confusion. And when confusion leaves, the heart briefly mourns what it hoped would be different. That mourning is not weakness. It is honesty. The one who hurt you is not being brought forward to reopen wounds. They are being brought into awareness so that the wound no longer controls your steps. Pain loses power when it is seen with calm understanding. You are not being asked to confront, accuse, or relive. You are being invited to release the burden of carrying unanswered questions. In every home, there are energies created by words spoken, words withheld, and emotions left unexpressed. Over time, these energies shape how we feel without us realizing why. This message comes to restore balance, not by pointing fingers, but by returning strength to where it belongs, within you. Peace is restored when truth is acknowledged without drama. You may notice that as you listen, your breathing slows. That is intentional. Spiritual guidance always arrives in a way that returns you to yourself. If something within you feels emotional, allow it. If something feels calm, trust that too. Both are signs that understanding is unfolding naturally. Nothing is being taken from you in this moment. Something is being returned, clarity. And clarity, even when emotional, always leads to freedom. The home does not fall when truth arrives, it steadies. Healing does not rush, it settles. Stay present with this message. Let it sit gently. There is more to be understood, and it will arrive with the same calm pace, not to shock you, but to strengthen you. Archangel Michael continues this message gently, not to increase emotion, but to bring understanding where confusion once lived. When something unresolved stays in the background of a home, it does not shout. It whispers. It shows up as restlessness, as emotional distance, as moments when you feel present yet somehow disconnected. These feelings were not random. They were signals asking for attention, not fear. The heartbreak spoken of is not about loss alone. It is about realization. Realization can feel heavy because it removes illusions we leaned on for comfort. But once those illusions fall away, the soul finally stands on solid ground. This is not a message about what will be taken from you. It is about what no longer needs to be carried. There are people who hurt us not through loud actions, but through silence, avoidance, or unmet expectations. Their presence leaves a mark because the heart waits for something that never fully arrives. Recognizing this truth does not mean blaming them or yourself. It simply means you stop waiting. And when waiting ends, peace begins. Your home reflects the inner state of those within it. When one person holds unresolved pain, the space absorbs it quietly. This is why clarity matters. Not to disrupt harmony, but to restore it. When awareness enters a space, tension softens. Conversations become lighter. Breathing becomes deeper. Rest becomes possible again. This message is also about boundaries. Not walls, but gentle lines that protect your emotional well-being. Boundaries are not rejection. They are self-respect. When you understand who caused the hurt and how it affected you, you gain the power to choose how close that energy comes to your heart moving forward. You may notice memories surfacing now. Not to overwhelm you, but to be released. Memories return when they are ready to be understood differently. What once felt painful may now feel neutral, or even distant. That is growth. That is healing unfolding naturally. There is no rush here. Healing does not demand urgency. It invites patience. Each realization arrives exactly when the heart is strong enough to hold it. If you feel calm reading this, trust that calm. If emotion arises, let it pass without judgment. Both are signs that balance is returning. The message is not asking you to act immediately. It is asking you to see clearly. When clarity settles in, right action follows without force. Your home does not need dramatic change. It needs honest awareness and gentle intention. Stay with this understanding. Let it breathe. The next part will continue unfolding what this awareness leads to, always with calm, never with fear, and always with your peace at the center. Archangel Michael continues with reassurance rather than urgency, because this part is not about discovering something new, but about settling into what you already know. Truth does not always arrive as a shock. Often, it arrives as recognition. A soft inner nod that says, "Yes, this explains what I've been feeling." That recognition is the beginning of release. In this stage, the heart starts separating memory from meaning. Memory is what happened. Meaning is what we decided it said about us. Many people carry pain not because of events themselves, but because of the meaning they attach to them, ideas like, "I wasn't enough, I should have known," or "I must keep proving my worth." This message gently dissolves those meanings. What happened did not define you. It shaped you, but it never diminished you. When the one who hurt you comes into clearer focus, the purpose is not confrontation. It is comprehension. Understanding removes the emotional charge. You begin to see patterns instead of wounds, behaviors instead of personal failures. And when you see patterns, you stop repeating them. That is freedom quietly forming. Your home, too, responds to this shift. Energy follows attention. As your attention moves from hurt to understanding, the atmosphere softens. Small changes appear. Conversations feel easier, sleep becomes deeper, moments of silence feel comfortable instead of heavy. These are signs that the space is aligning with your inner state. There is also forgiveness here, but not the kind that bypasses honesty. This forgiveness is grounded. It does not excuse harm. It simply refuses to let harm occupy your future. Forgiveness, in this sense, is a boundary that says, you no longer get to live in my thoughts. That boundary restores dignity and calm. You may notice your intuition becoming clearer now. Decisions that once felt confusing start to feel obvious. This is because emotional noise has lowered. When the heart is not busy defending itself, it can listen. And when it listens, guidance becomes practical, not mystical. You know when to speak. You know when to step back. You know when to rest. This part of the message also speaks to timing. Nothing arrived too late. Nothing was delayed by mistake. You reached this understanding exactly when you were ready to hold it without breaking. Strength is not loud endurance. Strength is quiet stability. You have grown into that stability. Let go of the idea that healing must be dramatic. Most healing is subtle. It looks like choosing peace over replaying old conversations. It looks like releasing the urge to explain yourself to people who already decided not to understand. It looks like choosing gentleness with yourself. As this settles, you may feel lighter without knowing why. Trust that feeling. It is not emptiness. It is space, space for better thoughts, healthier connections, and a calmer rhythm of life. Your home does not need protection from fear. It needs alignment with truth and compassion. This message does not end with answers. It opens a doorway. Walk through it slowly. The next part will guide how this understanding turns into steady peace, without pressure, without urgency, and without losing yourself in the process. Archangel Michael brings this final movement with steadiness, not urgency, because the purpose now is completion. What began as confusion has moved through understanding, and what passed through understanding is ready to rest. This part is not about discovering another truth. It is about living comfortably inside the truth you already hold. There comes a moment when the heart stops scanning the past for missing pieces. That moment feels quiet. It may even feel ordinary. But it is powerful. It means the lesson has integrated. You are no longer asking, "Why did this happen to me?" You are calmly saying, "I see what this taught me, and I am free to move forward." This is not resignation. This is mastery. In your home, this completion shows itself in subtle ways. You may notice that tension dissolves without effort. Conversations feel less reactive. You respond instead of react. Even silence becomes friendly. These are signs that emotional weight has lifted. A home aligned with inner peace becomes a place of recovery, not repetition. The one who hurt you no longer occupies center stage in your thoughts. Their role is finished. They were a chapter, not the whole story. When a chapter ends properly, it does not need revisiting. It has already given what it came to give. This is why closure often arrives without an apology, without a conversation, and without explanation. Closure is internal. It happens when you stop needing something from the past to feel whole. This part of the message emphasizes self-trust. You have learned how to listen to your inner signals. When something feels off, you notice early. When something feels right, you no longer doubt it. This discernment is not fear-based. It is calm awareness. It allows you to move through life without constant defense. You may also feel a soft return of joy. Not excitement, not adrenaline, but a steady contentment. Joy that comes from safety within yourself. Joy that does not depend on outcomes or approval. This is the kind of joy that stays even when life is imperfect. It is quiet, reliable, and nourishing. There is permission here to rebuild routines gently. Not to prove anything, not to rush healing, but to enjoy structure again. Morning light. Simple meals. Honest rest. Moments where you do nothing and feel no guilt about it. These are not small things. They are the foundation of emotional stability. As this message completes, understand this clearly: nothing is chasing you. Nothing is threatening your peace. Nothing needs to be fixed right now. You are allowed to simply be. When the nervous system relaxes, life reorganizes itself naturally. Opportunities align. Relationships clarify. Decisions simplify. Carry forward the wisdom, not the weight. Carry forward the awareness, not the wound. What remains now is space. And space is where new, healthier experiences form. Let them come in their own time. You do not need to call them. Your calm presence is already an invitation. This is where the message rests. Not with fear. Not with pressure. But with quiet confidence. You are safe to move ahead. You are stable enough to trust yourself. And your home, both within and around you, is returning to peace, one calm moment at a time.